Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals, I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, October 23rd, 8 days away from Halloween. And this is episode 239 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete, and always by my side is the one-of-a-kind...
Hey guys, Aviel here. How you doing?
I am good, Avi. Thank you for being here as always, or maybe not always. But how are you doing today?
I'm good. I got a really long nap beforehand with some snuggly Buscemi, so I haven't even glanced at the outline. You kind of paid me back for those outlines I wrote on my own.
She's
and
doing
got these
it
two.
All off the dome.
Yep.
Has not
even skimmed it.
I'm surprised you've even opened it, to be honest.
I mean, it just did. So it's very fresh. I zoomed in, took it off of light mode so that I wouldn't look like a ghost on stream. It's not Halloween yet.
Spooky.
And then, ready to go.
But what's on the docket for tonight? It's pretty simple. We're doing the Bozjan Southern Front. I have a pretty big update for you on what I've been doing in there.
Ooh.
Avi, I don't think has much to add from the last week.
I wasn't home. I was on my little mini vacation in Laughlin. I was on the river. I was drinking alcohol. I was not near a computer. Honestly, I didn't even have very good cell reception. I had to when I wanted to send Pete a picture, I had to try 4 different times in different parts of the area.
How many tequila sodas do you think you sucked down in those 4 days?
I have no idea.
Lost track.
We did. It was really fun. Didn't have a single hangover though. We were both shocked. We were like, we are doing this right.
Just stayed that perfect level of drunk the whole time.
Not drunk. It's buzzed. Neither of us. We don't. Once you get to that drunk point, you just stop drinking. You eat food. You wait, and then when it starts to go away, then you have another drink. That was my little vacation. It was fun. It was very fun.
That's how I play Final Fantasy XIV.
We also think that maybe because it was all the soda water, we're so it's we're drinking water with it too. So it was good.
Icarus says, I have a lore question to hit Pete with for the question segment, all from Bozja.
Ooh.
Well, that might have to wait until last week unless you've already sent it in.
You mean next week? Yeah. Can't wait till last week. That won't work.
Back to the future, baby.
Yeah, you're going to have to send it to the past 2 weeks ago. Be fine.
I speak well. So Bozja Southern Front, all the news and notes from the week.
I speak well is actually the grammatically correct version of that? Okay, I didn't know if that was intentional or not.
Like I said last week.
I thought it was funny because you did it
every misstep, every misspeak is on purpose. But before we get started, we like to shout out all of you amazing subscribers out there. So thank you to Onikaru for 8 months, Agitated Salamander 1 year. Also at 1 year is a Disco Cub.
Ooh, you guys get your crowns on your little poops.
Then coming in at 16 months, all 3 of you started watching at the same time. Aurora 42, Mog Moxie, and Voxna7. So thank you all so much. And if you're not a subscriber, we still love you. We'd love you even more if you could just tell a friend about the show. That'd be so awesome of you. And let's kick it off with everyone's favorite segment,
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute. Oh, and that's the noise of a sub. Thank you so much, Marcus Kyler, for 10 months. And I got an emote from this one as well.
K-pop emote.
K-pop emote?
Yeah.
I'm a K-pop fan, baby. Or that's what the emote I got was.
You literally is a fan, yeah.
It's the Greenleaf Minute. This week, we're going to talk to you about upgrading your resistance weapon in patch 5.35. So last week, Avi talked to you a little bit about this to make sure you picked up the quest to begin with from Zlatan in Gangos.
Yeah, you don't want to waste any time.
To get the quest called For Want of a Memory. We told you that because we missed it the first time around.
And other people did too.
Because it has the request emote or icon instead of the new shit icon. So beyond that, what do you need to do next? After you grab that quest, you'll need to start collecting memories of the dying. And there are 3 types of them. Tortured memory of dying, sorrowful memory of dying, and harrowing memory of the dying.
Also known as Atmas.
Pretty much. You can get these both inside and outside of the Bozjan Southern Front. In the Bozjan Southern Front, you can get the tortured memory of the dying from skirmishes and critical engagements in the first zone in the south.
Okay.
So basically, if you're running around in this first zone, you're going to eventually like see a fate that's above you, north of you, and there's not going to be a way to get there. So that's what I call the first southern zone.
Okay.
You're going to be blocked by an invisible wall.
It's not invisible when you walk up to it. It's all lit up.
I guess it is not invisible.
Until you get to rank 5, it won't let you past it.
Yeah, so that's where you can get the first memory of the dying. And then the second one is once you unlock that door and you can make it to the middle part of the map. The skirmishes and critical engagements from those will drop the sorrowful memory of the dying. And once you unlock another gate, you'll get to the third zone in the north. And you can do skirmishes and critical engagements that will drop the harrowing memory of the dying. And something kind of neat that Chili and I came across was we had someone in our group that was lower level than us, I believe, like hadn't opened up the third area yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got into a critical engagement, and I think it led him into the area.
Oh, wow. Like, and then permanently stay in there or just for the critical engagement?
I think they stayed there, and then they could attune to that a little bit early, but they couldn't run the quest.
Okay. Still, that's cool. Yeah.
And if the Bozjan Southern Front isn't for you, you can...
And also farming for the memories in the Bozjan Front is the much slower method, but you're also leveling a character at the same time. So it's kind of like this is your multitasking way of leveling your weapon, but it's not... If your focus is trying to level your weapon, this is not the fastest way to do it. The fastest way to do it is...
Yeah, it's outside of the Bozjan Southern Front in the Heavensward zones.
Yep.
You're going to head over there to start earning those memories. For the Tortured Memory, do fates in Coerthas, Western Highland, and the Sea of Clouds.
Mm-hmm.
For the Sorrowful Memory, do fates in the Dravanian Forelands and the Turning Mists. And for the Harrowing Memories, do fates in the Dravanian Hinterlands and Az-Azla.
So yeah, the big difference, which I think we touched on last week, is that so long as you get a gold ranking for that fate, you have a 100% chance to get that drop. So it is definitely faster to get them in the fates, in the Heavensward zones. But you can get like a decent group going in the Bozjan Southern Front, but I still don't think you don't have that 100% drop rate. So I don't know that you'll do as well.
You don't have the 100% drop rate, but I do believe that... I don't want to say it. I could be wrong on this. But I thought some memories might have fallen from mobs as well at a lower rate. But I'm not sure on that. But like Avi said, you can multitask in there. You can level another job. And you're also leveling your resistance rank in there. Mm-hmm. And you also need clusters for a mount and a minion. And and eventually those earrings that give you the 30%.
Well, and you get the lock
XP
boxes,
boost.
so it kind of depends upon like if the only thing you want is to level your weapon, then we highly recommend just go Heavensward Fates. But if you want to experience the new Bozjan Southern Front and all of the elements that go along with that, then obviously do it in there. And it's almost like you're doing the Bozjan Southern Front stuff, and you just happen to be able to pick up some of these Atma memories. I'm sorry, they're Atmas, you guys. You get them from farming fates for your freaking resistance relic weapon. It's the same concept.
Another thing to do that people are, or another solution to get a bunch of the clusters that you need is you'll go in with like a group of 8, and then you'll split into 2 groups. So 2 groups of 4, like actually physically split up the group. So you have 2 light parties, and then put 2 people from each light party in a different area. And then when those 2 groups are farming all the mobs, you're getting credit for both ones that are being farmed.
Oh, cool.
So that's a good way to get a lot of the fragment or clusters. You'll need 20 of each of these types of memories of the dying, and then you'll be able to get your next resistance weapon. But there's actually one more step that you can still do in patch 5.35. You can head back to Zlatan and get the next quest, The Will to Resist. And you'll need 6 bitter memory of the dying to complete this, which gives your relic the glowy effect.
That's a resistance weapon now, isn't it? Do they ever call this one the relic?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't either. I just was honestly just curious.
It's a relic, though.
It is. I know.
Just like their Atmas.
I'm not disagreeing. Right.
You can get those bitter memories from doing skirmishes in the Bozjan Southern Front, or you can do a level 60 dungeon or leveling roulette. You get 1 per dungeon if you go that route.
And as Marcus Kyler just said in chat, who loves the anti-tower? Again, if your goal is speed, that is the fastest dungeon to run for this. And so a lot of people will be farming that a lot. So if you queue for Roulette, you're very likely to get the anti-tower, the level 60 roulette. And you have to sync it as well.
Yeah, so you can't just run it unsync by yourself.
You got to go the level it is.
But I helped out with Chili on one of these runs in the anti-tower, and I think we finished in 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
Which is why people are running that one so much.
It's pretty quick. I don't think I'm going to go that route, though, just because I don't really enjoy.
Well, if you're not in a rush to do it, there's no reason to.
I'm definitely not in a rush. And for all the memories, you will only be you'll only get those drops if you have the quests active. So once you finish the quest for want of a memory and pick up the will to resist, if you still want to get those 3 types of memories, you have to go pick that quest up again as a different job for your relic weapon.
Right.
So you don't want to forget to do that. Be doing a bunch of fates in there. And
you may as well, like if you finish that step, pick it up again.
If you know you're going to want a second relic, you might as well pick it up right away so you don't forget to do it.
Or if you just might want one, if you've already collected all you needed for the one job, then. So I have a question. So if I pick it up on my dancer and I'm doing the fates, once I collect all that I need, I can't collect excess? Is that what it is?
No, you can collect excess as long as you still have the quest active.
Oh, okay.
But if you turn them all in and then you go to the next step, and you don't have that quest anymore, you won't get those drops anymore.
That makes sense. I'm glad I asked because that clarifies it. And so, okay, good. That's good to know. Yeah, make sure you have that.
So if you have a second job that you know you're going to want the relic in, as soon as you turn it in to get your relic, might as well switch to that job and pick it up from the same person.
Well, and at that point, it actually doesn't even matter if that's the job you want to do the relic on. Just pick it up on another job so that you can continue to collect the memories. And then say you decide you don't want that job, you could abandon the quest, but you won't lose all the items you've collected, and then pick it up on the job you want to get the weapon on, just as long as you
do have to have the previous weapon, though, already
in the inventory. I mean, that's the way the relics have always kind of worked. You need the older one to get to the new, but I mean, it's what, like 400 tomes poetics or 800 poetics? It's like really, really cheap to get that first one.
It's really cheap to
You just have to get to level 80.
First one.
Yeah. What I was doing is the sands that you need is what you buy. As my poetics were getting high, there's not a lot to do with poetics, so I was actually buying a stack of 4 of those and just keeping them for the next job that hit 80 because it was kind of an easy way to get a level 80 weapon for a job. So I have every job I have at 80, I have the weapon for.
Nice. I do not.
Which is a kind of an easy, okay, if I need to play this job, at least they have a level 80 weapon on them instead of like it gets 100K? Oh, I thought it was like less than that.
1K. So it's 1K for the first one and then it's 2K for the second one, I believe. Because it's 250 poetics per item, and you need 4.
For some reason, I thought it was like 200 poetics per item. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's all I had for that. Don't forget to pick up the quest to make sure you can still get the drops. Now we went from everyone's favorite segment to Avi's favorite segment. It's the tweet of the week. It is the tweet of the week, and
I just don't like that setup because it feels redundant. Calling it the favorite and then the favorite. It seems like no, I don't even care. And that's not the part. Is the part where it's like the favorite and then the favorite. Call it something else.
I like it because it's redundant.
Okay.
This one comes from our friend Chili, who in response to someone who forgot to pick up the quest was reassuring them saying, "Don't worry, I think Avi Ale and She Heals I Tank Vegan Pete would still be working out how to get the relic quest if they hadn't stopped by my stream, lol. It is confusing considering the NPC has the repeat quest icon and not the new quest."
And Chili, you did stream it for like a solid week straight. Like, I don't think you even took breaks.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, he's right. I mean, if we didn't see him do it, we'd definitely be just walking around the Bozjan Southern Front, not knowing
just going, what do I do?
To do.
What do I do? Yeah, thank you, Chili.
Neither of us know how to use Google.
But yeah, Chili was streaming the heck out of that first week. I don't think he slept. I don't think he ate. I don't think, there was no breaks involved. It was just Bozjan Southern Front all day, every day.
Just strapped a toilet seat onto a bucket.
Yeah, you didn't have to go there.
But I did.
Yeah, you didn't need
You don't have to.
That was unnecessary.
But I go the extra mile. Just part of my personality, Avi. Doing the best I can.
Okay.
Now it's time for news and notes from around the realm.
Oh, wait, Pete. Sorry, Chili just said, I have a laptop. I can just bring it with me. That's better. That was kind of magic, Chili. Thank you.
Why do that when you have an extra toilet seat and a bucket?
Because then you just smell it. Like, in the room you're in. You're not a cat.
You'll adapt.
No. I'm more down for that laptop idea. That's pretty damn funny. All right. Sorry, continue.
New optional items are now available. And
wait, do you not want me to read these?
You just told me to go ahead.
Well, you hadn't announced it yet.
Yes, I did.
I said announce the next segment. I didn't hear you. Okay, no, go ahead then.
Because you were interrupting me.
I was sharing what Chili said. It was funny.
This is probably better for me to start with anyways, because they gave me something I hate.
I mean, what else is new?
Added the damn Alpha No Glamour, calling it the Charlatan Prodigy suit.
I mean, we knew it was coming.
So you can use this to cosplay both Alphino and Alisaie.
No, Alisaie doesn't wear that.
Yes, it's one for both of them.
So we have Alisaies as well.
The same one.
They don't wear the same clothes.
The original one.
Oh. I think that was the original one. It wasn't the original one.
Yes, it was. Well, I don't know if it's ARR or Heaven's Ward.
It is not the original one.
In ARR, they had the same one.
Right, but let me see.
Look at that shit.
What? In AIR, yes. In A Realm Reborn, they had the same outfit. Why? But this outfit is not that one.
But it's the same damn outfit.
Is it the original one? I guess it is. All right. So I hadn't looked at it. I've been out of town.
I love it, chat. Chat's just moving so fast with all the pizzas right.
There was 2.
That's fast for us, baby. It's only going to cost you $18, Avi. And maybe you like one piece that they have on and you want to match it with something else. Well, you can't, Avi, because it comes in one.
Oh, they are slightly different. Yeah,
they have the little leg tie on the different leg.
Yeah.
That's all I was able to see the difference.
Well, and before they had different colored, the hair tie was different.
Did they?
Yeah, and I think their earrings might have been on different ears.
So yeah, I think I'm going to be skipping on that one. But it is for both genders that are available in the game anyway.
Oh, they're saying the leg band based on gender. I see. So there's only one item in the manga store. I haven't visited the online store.
Yeah, there's only one item. It's the Charlatan Prodigy suit.
Here it is. Okay. But depending upon if it's male or female, then the leg tie adjusts accordingly. So you don't have to buy 2. There's not to have both of the leg ties. Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
All right. You want to take this next one on?
Sure. I was good. And did you mention that? You did mention that it's all one piece, which I hate. Yeah. All right. So also, if you missed the All Saints Wake last year, you'll now be able to pick up the rewards from that event now from the cash shop. The Senior Sabatender emote is $2.
Totally forgot about that emote.
I did too until I started the Make It Rain event, and I was like, okay, that's actually pretty cute. And the story for that one was pretty cute too. But, I don't like that. It doesn't matter if you played the game previously, you can buy all these. There's nothing special you can get anymore. You have in game, really. It's you can get it eventually from the cash shop. But anyway, the Circus Ahriman mount is $12, and that had a really cute story to go along with it too. Actually, last year's All Saints Week was really fun, and then they had the authentic
They're
pumpkin
always fun. And
carriage.
We're not getting one this year.
Outdoor furnishing for $5, and the authentic fantastical All Saints Wake poster for $5. All of them are only for a single item. But yeah, I'm not trying to shame them that we're not getting it this year, Pete. I understand the reasonings for that. So it's okay. I just was not really a big fan of the pumpkin carriage, the outdoor furnishing. It felt...
Because we all wanted it as a mount.
It felt really weird. Well, it just felt weird to have a pumpkin carriage sitting in your yard. I don't think I've seen any houses that... I'm sure there's some that use it, but I can't say that I've noticed a single one that's used it outside of maybe Halloween time for it.
Yeah, I put it out for a second, and then I put it away.
Yeah, I was like, it's too big. No, thank you. I'm good. There are also a lot of past All Saints Wake items that are available on the cash shop as well.
Chili's dropping one in chat right now.
Oh, the little Yang minion. Isn't that one of the little ghosts?
Yep.
Those are actually freaking adorable. Those minions are pretty damn cute. There's 2 little ghosts, and they have different facial expressions. I really, really like those ones, actually. KK actually still says he might still has his out from last year, but I feel like that's out of laziness more so than effort. He's like the guy who leaves the Christmas lights on all year and then realizes it's October and it's like, we're close enough.
Maybe he likes to sit in it and pretend to be Cinderella. You don't know.
It could be that. Pizza, as he's mentioned in the past, he's a really big fan of the Witch's Broom mount.
Yeah, that's the only thing from this sale event that I would be interested in. If you don't have the Witch's Brew mount, I find it pretty zippy. It just feels like you're going a little bit faster, even though you're really not. That's usually what I pull out when I'm gathering a bunch of something and I have to go from node to node to node. I like the Witch's Broom for that.
I actually do too. I like that it doesn't take up a lot of space on your screen. So if you're like looking for something, or say you're looking for hunts, more so like the B rank hunts, the smaller ones that are harder to find, back when, if you still do those, the Witch's Broom mount was actually pretty handy for those. I like that. So it's not too bad. Excuse me. And the sale is going to last until November 17th.
And we also haven't done an update since they've started doing the top 10 best-selling items on the Mog Station. So I thought we could take a little second to go through those, Avi. Something that I don't think has changed is that the number one seller is still a file of Fantasia.
It makes sense.
After that is a new emote. It's the Snap emote. So that is far up on the leaderboard of best-selling items.
A lot of times it is the newer stuff. Otherwise, it's like currently the most popular. It's not. This list isn't like the popular of all time. It's like what's popular right now.
Yeah. And third is the Durandil's attire, which is the female attire that they recently released.
Give them the boobies.
Yeah.
The booby attire.
You want to be a well-endowed lady. That's what you need.
Yes.
Number 4, we have the Chocobo Carriage at $36. This one surprised me a little bit.
I do think it's cool. It is actually a really cool mount, and that's a very like FFIXV lore friendly
I
item.
did see some people complaining though, because apparently in the beginning scene you had 2 Chocobos pulling the carriage, and this one only comes with 1.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Oh well.
Better take a couple dollars off. We're not giving me both Chocobos.
It's not the exact same thing. I get it. Yeah, maybe your what is it? Carriage is slightly smaller. It's a smaller version, so it doesn't need 2 Chocobos to pull it. 1 is fine. I don't know.
At least that one is account wide for $36, not just 1 character.
Ooh, yeah.
Number 5, we have Tales of Adventure Stormblood. So that's the Stormblood story skip.
That's like, that outbeats a Realm Reborn. People would rather play a Realm Reborn than Stormblood. That's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not.
I like Stormblood.
It was a thing. Chili drop in another code actually. Speaking of that Witch Broom mount, because it's Pete's favorite. Thank you, Chili. You're just like, Chili must have got paid today. It's all generous and sweetheart.
Thank you, Chili. Now's your chance to get that Witch Broom mount, and let us know in chat if you use the code. It's for you guys to use. And if you use it, let Chili know. Say a thank you. After that story skip, we have 10 pots of jet black dye for $7.50.
I mean, jet black dye is really expensive in game generally, so yeah. And then number 7 is 3 vials of Fantasia for $28. So people would rather just buy a single one than to actually get the $2 off, which I kind of get. It's not really worth it. I actually have 2 Fantasias. So I think I bought the 3 vials of Fantasia because I'd been Fantasiaing kind of regularly. Now I'm just like on my Viera, and she's just got 2 vials of Fantasia that are just going to sit there.
Need to make an alt?
You can't give them to them.
Oh.
No, it's just those are hers. Yeah.
Another emote comes in at number 8. We have the Played Dead emote, and I feel like this one is always in the top 10 because it's just such a damn good emote.
Yeah, it is a really good one.
Tales of Adventure: A Realm Reborn, also the story skip. That is only $11 now, apparently. Kind of cool. And
wait, but still, like the fact that Stormblood is 25, A Realm Reborn is 11, and Stormblood still outsells it by like 4 spots.
There could just be more people that need it.
I just think it's funny.
And rounding out the top 10, we have 10 pots of pure white dye for $7.50.
Also a good dye.
The only thing that kind of surprised me on this list was I didn't think Chocobo Carriage would be so high because it's $36.
But it is account wide, so I guess that kind of slightly makes up for it.
As for saying, the only problem with the carriage to me is you as the owner don't get to hang out with friends in the back. Yeah, that's kind of annoying about all of the multi ones. I just hate having to be the driver.
I mean, if you're the one who owns the cool car, you're not going to let other people drive your cool car, and that's what happens anyway.
I would let my chauffeur drive me and my friends around.
Got it. Yes, your chauffeur. I forgot about him.
If I have a cool car, I'm definitely going to have a chauffeur.
Okay.
I have a Ford Focus, so I don't have a chauffeur.
No, you do not. So if you have any friends that have had their accounts expire for longer than 30 days, it is now time to let them know that there is a free login campaign going on right now. They are going to be able to play for up to 4 days for free, and they have until November 23rd to use this. But really, if they want to take full advantage of the time, they're going to need to obviously start it by November 19th because that's the time it ends. So like always, the most important thing is to remember that the free time starts as soon as you log into the launcher. So don't do that update until you are ready to play, or you'll waste the free time that you've got.
I feel like people are taking longer breaks nowadays just because it seems like there's not as much content during the patches. So they're like, I can kind of wait for 2 patches to come out before I come back.
You feel like? I mean, that's 100% accurate.
So
yeah.
You can tell them, hey, you might not even need to resub. You can just use this
come back for your 4 days
login campaign, poop socket, and get done with everything.
Stop
in those
with the
4
poop
days.
things today. Goodness.
Did you forget what podcast you're on?
Mm-mm.
It's the Shit Podcast.
I said no. I didn't forget. You didn't have to remind me. I'm here. I drew all the little poop emotes. We good?
Apparently, a lot of people are upset that the Rainmaker hairstyle wasn't added in with this year's Make It Rain event. In a thread on the official forums, community rep Kiwi Kopo posted, "Thank you for all your feedback. We are currently considering the possibility of making modern aesthetics Rainmaker available as an optional item. Please keep an eye out for further updates."
I actually don't even remember what hairstyle it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not the person to ask
I
about
know.
that, but I think it's funny that they're like, we've heard your feedback, and since there's so many of you that want it, maybe we'll add it to the cash shop.
Yeah.
We're definitely not adding it to this event, but maybe we will make it available for you to spend your hard-earned money
I have
on.
this hairstyle. This is like the big side bangs with like the big chocobo tail ponytail in the back that I can't use because I'm a Vieira, so it doesn't matter anyways, which is why I forgot which one is which, because I can't use it.
What if they started making hairstyles available from the online store?
I have like items that are cash shop hairstyles that I can't use.
No, but what if they had a second version of them?
Oh no,
that was Vieira compatible.
No, I'd have to like really want it,
Oh, I want them to try that so bad.
That's messed up. That would be like make this a pay game. No, like a pay.
Yeah, it already is. There's nothing different from that than what it is now. It's not a pay to win. That's
I mean,
it's a pay to be pretty.
If the end game is glamour, which is kind of the thing everybody says, then you're paying to be pretty. That's a pay to win game.
Oh, that's what we already have then.
And I'm not using a Fantasia KK. I love my Vieira. I just hate her limited options for hairstyles.
Oh, I want them to try that so bad just so I can rip it.
And hats. Hats would be nice.
The same rep, Kiwi Kopo, also posted on a different thread about the much-to-be-desired queuing system for Castrum, Lacus, Litore, or Clit, as Avi says. They posted, "Thank you for all your feedback on the Bozjan Southern Front. We are aware of the difficulty that players have had in gathering for Castrum, Lacus, Litore, and we have made this our most urgent issue to address. As a temporary measure, we will be changing the recruitment time from 1 minute to 6 minutes through a hotfix in the near future, while we work on a more fundamental long-term solution. We have also been carefully reviewing your wider opinions on the Bozjan Southern Front, so your continued feedback is much appreciated."
Huh. All right.
Yep.
Interesting.
Disco
Curious what changes they're going to make.
Disco says people weren't gathering for the clit, and that's no. It's actually people were trying to get to the clit so quickly because it only lasts for a minute. The clit was only up for a minute, that they were leaving the critical engagement that they were in. So if you had 40 people in this critical engagement and then all of a sudden 30 people left to go to the clit.
I don't really love this like nickname you've given it. It's not going to catch on. Just saying, maybe
I don't know.
Maybe with a few people, but not like as a whole.
I've even seen a different meme going around where Castrum, Lacus, Litore was changed to something Licaclit. Lica clitoris.
Okay, I guess other people have. I guess. Okay.
I mean, this game is all about shortening things. We can't say horse. We had to say pony. We can't say eagle. We have to say bird.
I mean, pony is longer than horse when you're saying it. It's 2 syllables.
Yeah, but it's letters. We type in this game.
It's true.
And I'm not going to type out Castrum, Lacus, Litore. I'm going to type out clit. Yeah, anyway. So people were just leaving the content that they were in because you only had a limited amount of time to get in to the Castrum.
I did kind of notice like I had to give up on a fate because of it. Like I didn't have time to even finish the fate I was in because of the short queue time for that. So that does make sense.
Did you go into it?
No, I'm sorry. This was just for one of the other fate.
Oh, one of the critical engagements.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so literally for the big thing, it's only a minute.
Yeah, so you know how you had to go from a skirmish to the critical engagement?
Yeah.
I'm talking about people leaving the critical engagement to go.
That does make sense. Sorry, I haven't gotten that far in it. Which is why I'm planning on playing when we're done with the podcast so that I can understand more what's going on. I was out of town. Sorry.
Should we call it the bean instead of the clit?
You call it the clit. It's fine. I don't have to like it.
Yeah, so I think this is a very good change. I don't actually know what more they need to do to it than this. Just give people a longer time to get in there.
Sorry, in regard to the clit reference, Disco Cub says, I'm surprised the straight guys found it. And then Satyr Eagles Claw said, some of us pay attention, Disco Cub. And I'm just that kind of jokes that I'm down for. That's hilarious. Okay. Anyways, sorry, I'm back.
And that's about all the news. So let's see if Avi can teach me something today.
It's very difficult to do. So this question was originally from episode 197. It's another question that I originally...
Another reusing one.
I mean, I'm doing this until I run out of them, yes.
So I have to get it right? All of them? I'm gonna have to go through the third time and the fourth time.
I mean, maybe. I wasn't planning. I was planning on starting to make some new ones.
I guarantee you, I will get one wrong like 7 times.
That makes it better. That makes it like hilarious. I think that's hilarious, and everyone else who's listening. All right. So, but I think this is actually a good question. The fact that you got it wrong, I think, is kind of a good one to ask. So, why were the Grand Companies originally formed?
Orgies.
Let me start over so you can actually listen to me.
Why were they formed? Give me the options.
Because if you start making jokes, you don't hear the answers that I offer you.
That's true.
Asians.
Asian orgies.
After the last calamity, the realm was overrun with new adventurers.
Asian orgy's a good band name.
He's not listening to me again. What did I just say?
Asian orgy?
Nope.
Oh,
you said that.
I wasn't listening then.
I know. Okay. It's like a 9-year-old boy. Look at me when I'm talking to you. After the last calamity, the realm was overrun with new adventurers and needed an organization in order to help guide them. B, to guard the Eorzean city-state supply of crystals from the beast tribes of the region, in turn preventing them from summoning their gods. C, to protect the Eorzean city-states because the realm's aether was imbalanced toward water and an imminent flood. Or D, to protect the Eorzean city-states from Garlean attacks.
I feel like it should be D. But A and B also sounded plausible. Probably C.
Okay.
Did I just go with my gut and go with the simple one, or did I do that last time?
I don't know what answer you put last time. I just know you got it wrong.
Why don't you have records of this off?
I have records that you got it wrong, and I have records of what the right answer is. The records are if we go back to the podcast, we can find it. This is a tricky one. I'll give you that.
Okay, then I'm probably wrong on the Garlean one then.
Possibly.
So read A and B to me again.
After the last calamity, the realm was overrun with new adventurers and needed an organization to help guide them. Or B, to guard the Eorzean city-state's supply of crystals from the beast tribes of the region, which in turn prevented them from summoning their gods.
It's called the Adventure... No, it's Grand Companies, not the Adventurers Guild. Adventurers Guild should be for A, right? So then I'll go with B.
Wait. So, trying to help you here. To guard the Eorzean city-state's supply of crystals from the beast tribes of the region, which in turn prevented them from summoning their gods? The Grand Companies prevented that?
Well, we prevented that. Or
did we prevent it?
They still did it. We just killed the gods.
All right.
So you're saying it's not that one.
Probably.
Then I'll go with A.
No, I'm not telling you those are your only two options.
Is it D then?
There's another letter in here.
Are you telling me it's C?
Maybe.
So my original joke of it being C was correct.
That's why I was going so far with helping you on this one.
Nailed it.
To protect the Aeorzean, I don't know why C's the only one I can't say it. To protect the Eorzean city-states because the realm's ether was imbalanced, which it was, toward water, and there was an imminent flood. Which is kind of interesting because there's the light, the flood of light, flood of water.
Tell me what part of the story that gets explained in.
I mean, I made this question in episode 197, and I'm sure it's in the lore book if you want to look at it. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Well, I've been playing through the game. I haven't come across that again yet. Maybe it's later than level 20. But since I have gone through level 20, Avi, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Based on and there is a possibility you heard me talking to chat about this.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Standing right behind me, and I didn't even notice. What is the name of the Doomsday cult in the Tam Terra Deepcroft? Do you happen to know this off the top of your head? No, I don't. I remember that dungeon, and the story was wonderful, but I don't remember what they were called. Is it the Druids of Dalamud? Do I have to answer each one? Okay, go ahead. No. Is it the Lambs of Dalamud? Is it the Denzians of Dalamud? Or is it the Ovis of Dalamud? I think it's C. The Denzians. Denzians of Dalamud? You are wrong. Really? It is the Lambs of Dalamud. That's a horrible name. A horrible name. How does it feel, Avi? Okay. Okay. All right, Avi, let's get to the... I wish I could look up the last time, like, when I did that story. Because I haven't... Yeah, it's right before the Tamtara Deep. Like, I fully acknowledge that, I guess, I feel like I should replay another character, but not because I actually want to, but because I record a podcast. Like, because I've actually been having a lot of fun going through it. Good. I started Witcher 3, so I would rather do a story I haven't seen before. Oh, yeah. I'm just not into as many games as you are. Yeah. By the time we got to last week's podcast, I hadn't had much time to play in the Bozjan Southern Front. I think at that point you had actually played more than I did. Yeah. But then I left you home alone. Yeah. Based on that, my first impression wasn't stellar. I was definitely underwhelmed story-wise and wasn't enjoying the feel of the zone that much. After a full week with it, I'm glad that one of those things has changed. I'm still kind of out on the zone itself. I don't really find it interesting. It's kind of boring. It doesn't really feel like there's a war that's going on to me and that we're trying to push the enemy back, as they tell us. The music is great. Yes. This zone does not deserve the music it got. Jeez. But after another week playing in there, I'm glad to say that I'm much, much happier with the story. It's really picked up. I think last week I was only level 6. I think I thought I was 10 on the podcast, but I was only level 6. Oh, so you're like one rank above me. You did say 10. But the quest and story really picked up around level 8 or so. And I don't think you've gotten there yet. So no, I just hit rank 5. We're not going to do any spoilers for the story this week. I appreciate that. What is kind of weird is that the story pretty much ends after you complete Castrum, Lacus, Litore. Edit all the way just for you. I hear it now. I do. Which you can do as soon as your resistance rank 10. But the resistant rank goes up to level 15. So it's weird that all the story stops at 10. Yeah. And you can rank up to 15. So if you're grinding out ranks 11 through 15, it's pretty much just to say you got to the max rank. The only thing I've noticed so far is that there are certain fragments that you can't convert into lost actions until rank 12, 13, 14. Okay. I'm level 13 and I'm having enough fun still doing skirmishes and critical engagements, waiting for Castrum to pop. I'm having a lot of fun in there, and I'm in no rush to level a relic. So I haven't gone to do any of the memory farming in Heavensward areas.
Mm-hmm.
And like we mentioned earlier, leveling an alt in here is pretty damn amazing.
I was playing my Dragoon when I was in there, yeah, and the leveling was pretty darn nice.
There's been a couple times, though, that I've gone in as healer, and I've let someone die, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not healing anymore.
Well, are you going to talk about what happened with your Astro? It was pretty fun.
We'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just me and Chili, and we were both kind of distracted by Twitch.
Oh, so a little bit later is right now. Got it.
No, but I'm saying when I let someone die, I let Chili die at like a fate because we were like both typing in someone's Twitch at the same time.
Oh, I see.
I was like, yeah, I can't heal and multitask at the same time, so I've wasted a lot of XP just by going Gunbreaker the whole time because I know I can like pick up all the aggro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take a bunch of damage. So, but yeah, I don't have something in the level 70s 2 level in there other than my healer, so I didn't have a DPS to work on or anything like that.
There is a part of me that's still like I'm torn right now of like wanting to do the Bozjan Southern Front, level that up, wanting to level my classes to 80, and also wanting to play Witcher 3. So it's like I'm really torn right now.
Just pick 2, flip a coin.
They're all very time-consuming things.
And that's what you do that day.
There's not enough time. I don't do it every day.
I know, but whatever day you play, you flip a coin.
Ugh.
Or roll
but
a three-sided die.
I can't because 2 days of the week that I play, it's like, oh, I want to play. It's Tuesday. Oh, no, I have to raid.
We're raiding, baby.
I raid, so I have no choice. So then
it's
none of the 3.
The sooner we beat it, then you get your day back.
No, it won't happen.
So I wanted to compare this to Eureka a little bit because this is basically what we're getting in place of Eureka.
Right.
I'm having a lot more fun doing this than we did in Eureka, even going back as far as Animos, because I think we both completed Animos, and we had an okay time doing Animos. I think
Eureka was really fun when it first came out and everyone was doing it, and you had like that really big group of people hanging out. That kind of got fun. But
I actually prefer this rather than the hunt, or I call it a hunt train.
The hunt train.
An NM train.
But I think what I was gonna say in that, like, that was fun, but I like that you don't need a huge group of people to have fun with this.
Yes.
That's a very good improvement.
And while I have been having more fun doing this in a group, this is so much better than trying to solo in Eureka.
Yes, I can see that.
You don't have to join a hunt train. You might not be able to solo every skirmish yourself. But there's usually a whole bunch of other people in the zone.
Are they like shouting for parties and stuff too? With your people are shouting their ranks and join parties.
Shouting for parties, mostly for cluster farming.
Oh, I see.
So not necessarily just
they're sharding for cluster farming.
Yeah. But I see him shout for fate groups as well, or skirmish groups.
I've noticed because, like I said, I was only in there really the one time, and then I noticed people where it was. They're shouting their rank groups, looking for groups that are like the same rank as them.
And the rank matters a little bit because you have the 3 separate areas that are gated by rank.
So that's why they're shouting it, because that's the area they want to go to.
But what's nice about this is, let's say I just wanted to help you back in area 2, even though I'm in area 3 right now. It's not really nerfing my medal, which is the experience in
it's just like you might already have all those memories collected.
Yeah, what sucked in Eureka was it was hard to group with someone more than like 4 levels below you or something like that.
Yeah,
because a lot of times in Eureka you were out killing specific elemental mobs, and that's how you got a lot of your XP, and you couldn't really group with people that were much higher or lower than you.
Right.
So I think it's much more group friendly. I think it's much more solo friendly. When I'm feeling lazy, I'll just log in, hang out at the crystal, and watch YouTube. And then when a critical engagement pops, I queue for it. And if I get in, awesome. If there's too many people and I didn't do anything to help spawn that and I don't get in, I'm not bitter about it. So I'm just hanging out.
You're being lazy.
I'll help when I can. And so I've done that. And there's other times when I'm pretty active, going from skirmish to skirmish, even solo. I did that a little bit before raid the other day. and I made like 50k metal before in like 45 minutes, so I thought that was pretty good.
Nice.
And I'm ranked 13, so I only got like 1.5 more ranks to go.
Ooh.
And you don't have to go to like that website that we had for Eureka, where it would like tell you what mobs were killed already, like the hunt train tracker or Eureka tracker.
You had to use that to like have any clue what to do next.
It's so nice not having to be like, where's the train at? It's just like, go do whatever's up.
Yeah. Can you give me a ride there? Or like, yeah.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. That's one of the biggest changes, and has to be one of their dumbest fucking decisions in Eureka.
In the past, yes.
To not let you use your mount or at the very beginning.
Especially because it was that like notorious monster chain. So you had to get to the group, and then you'd have to, like, if you were lower level, you just had to run on. Yeah, that was bad.
And not to mention that not only you couldn't use it at the beginning, but you had to get so many levels through that when you finally were able to use it, you leveled out of there so quickly, you're like, okay, that was kind of a waste.
I remember that it was like the biggest thing was the 2-seater mounts, and then just going red mage, so you could DPS, but you could also just res people on the way. Yeah. So I actually like a lot of times wasn't on a mount because I would be running, so I could res people, like, so up and down, up and down. Yeah, that was the thing.
Going back to Animos a little bit, that's where we had Pazuzu. Do you remember that?
I do.
And everyone would log in and be, is Pazuzu up? When is Pazuzu up?
Yep.
We kind of have the same thing of that with the Castrum, Lacus, Litore.
It's not surprising.
People will log in, ask when this instance last did it. And a lot of people, once they get to max rank, I'm assuming, are just instance popping. So they're just going in and out, seeing when it's going to pop.
Or the clit.
Yeah. In and out of clit.
Seeing when it's going to pop.
I
made the joke. You didn't even appreciate it.
I did. That's me appreciating it.
By ignoring it. Cool.
You're just flicking in and out of the
No,
instance.
You're making my same joke now. Like, you can't try to act like it was your joke. It was my joke. Moving on.
The Castrum itself, I find a lot of fun. I did make a mistake this week, though, Avi.
Yeah.
I was doing the thing I do. I was trying to level Astro, not doing very well of it, but Chili was keeping me alive. And
wait, you were the Astro, but Chili was keeping you alive?
Yeah, I feel like occasionally he'd throw out like a heal to me.
He's a tank, right?
Yeah, but you can get lost actions that heal
okay.
people. I feel like Chili was just kind of dragging me along. I healed occasionally. But
and then
so it was me, Chili, and one other FC member that were in a group. But the FC member we were with wasn't a high enough rank to get into Castrum.
Okay.
So we were trying to tell that FC person, hey, do you mind leaving group so we can go do this? But apparently they were on like the wrong tab, so they weren't seeing our chat. So like this time is going by and you don't have much time to get in there. So we left the group and we talked to an FC why we did it so they would see it. And then we just queued into there, but we were on such a time crunch that I forgot I was playing Astro. So I queued into the Castrum as an Astro when I'm a tank main.
He doesn't like heal at all.
I am a bad healer.
It's not a lie.
Until this, my highest level of healing was an expert roulette, which didn't go especially well. People died often. So I was on the verge of leaving because I was like, Chili, can I go out and come back in? He's like, no. I'm like, can I change once I get in there? He's like, no. I'm like, I feel bad. I feel like I'm going to probably wipe this whole run and everything's going to go to shit because of me. You know how some people talk about like tank anxiety? I was definitely experiencing some healing anxiety getting into the Castrum as a healer. And I was like, this is going to be so stupid. I'm going to let everyone die. I'm going to die a whole bunch of times. I'm going to lose all this metal. I'm probably going to like lose a rank or some shit like that. But he convinced me to stay. And we weren't even in the same group at that time because we queued in solo and then just LFG'd while we were in there. We were in separate groups.
That sucks.
But I will say I healed, and I will say I don't think I was the worst healer in our group.
I really want Pete to post this run on YouTube though, so hopefully he does that this weekend. Because I do think it's really funny to see. He's like, he doesn't talk a lot. He's very hyper focused, and when he does talk, he's like, "This is bad."
I'm like, "Why the fuck did you stay in that?"
But so you get to see a little bit of healer salt from Pete, which is pretty fun. But I do want him to, because he had me watch it. It was pretty funny. I didn't watch the whole thing because I haven't gone into the clit, and so I haven't experienced it, and I didn't want all the mechanics to be spoiled.
Did I pop an essence to make me a DPS? Even if I did, I wouldn't have enough time to DPS.
His other healer kept dying a lot, and so it was not only like an inexperienced healer with, like, he wasn't like with somebody, he wasn't with Chili healing or me healing or somebody who knows how to play their class. He was with somebody who kept dying a lot, and he had like a black mage in his group too that like died a lot, and so I felt bad, and there were a couple of mechanics that weren't clicking for him. And
yeah, first fight I get the mechanic now, but I wasn't getting it then. The second fight I'm really good at, thankfully, because that fight half our group was dying every time that fucking fire mechanic came out.
Did you do spoilers?
I said no story spoilers.
So that's why I want him to share it on YouTube, because I think it was pretty funny to watch.
We got in there, and I had another healer in my group, and I was like, yes, I'm just going to be able to be carried along. I'm going to, heal everyone really good to the best of my abilities. And then I felt like I was just rezzing the whole time.
Kind of what. And then I was like, but why aren't you using light speed? He's like, I'll remember it's there eventually. Just keep watching. I was like, oh man. So if you main Astro, you may not want to watch that because you're literally just be irritated with all the things that Pete's not doing what he should be doing.
Yeah, if I actually knew how to make good videos and like add stuff to videos, I'd put like a counter on for like how long the balance card was just sitting there before I used it.
Easy to do. That's real easy to do.
Not easy for me.
Yeah, he was angry at everyone for taking damage. Yeah, it was really funny.
But it just,
and I even asked him, I was like, "Are you even putting cards on people?" And he was like, "Sometimes."
What I remember. Okay. But it kind of did illustrate my point, because I guarantee you that healer was better than me. But if you don't know or you don't do mechanics,
right?
I was a more valuable healer this run than they were, even if they might have been better.
Oh, that's
than
the
me.
Fire mechanic. So there is the fire mechanic, which is, it's an old mechanic. It's the one where the boss casts like a fire debuff, and if you're attacking at all, it like does major damage or even just auto attacks. But it will kill people, and so like you have to click on the boss and not do anything. And then watching that with Pete, that's always a frustrating one as a healer. But this was even more so because it would kill half the group. Like, boom, 4 people dead. And so, yeah, it was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. I do struggle with a kind of fire that gets shot out in a cross in the last boss.
I didn't watch the last boss. I didn't want to see that one.
I've started to get that one better, though. I think I only died this time because I saw it wrong. Like, I get that mechanic now. And I get the fucking magnet mechanic now. And yes, I know how magnets work, but I didn't know exactly how far. It was like shooting me way further than I expected.
Yeah.
That's in the first fight.
Aw, Crow, thank you for giving him encouragement for that run.
I mean, honestly, I agree with Crow. I don't think it was that difficult to heal if you had people in your group that knew the mechanics, that were doing mechanics. It was a pain in the ass when everyone's dying. That's
why I don't like healing 24-man raids. It's not that they're hard to heal. It's that you just have to deal with people who don't know the mechanics, and they just die and die and die and die. And that's when it is important to have a good healer, but I'm also just like, I would, if I'm going to do 24-man right now, like not the, like the older ones, I mean, not the new ones. Well, even the new ones, but the older ones more. So I'm like, I just want to go DPS so I can just ignore everybody and just like do my thing, because otherwise I'm going to get really grumpy and I'm going to be heated and super salty. So I just won't. Yeah.
But I will say, even though I had a lot of anxiety going into it, I did have a lot of fun doing it, even as a bad Astro. And I think that
not a badass Astro, a bad Astro.
Yeah, not a badass Astro.
Bad.
It's all bad.
It was bad.
That should give you confidence to go into
if
there.
If Pete can do it.
If we were able to do it with me healing, it's not that difficult.
I did comment. I was surprised that they were able to beat it with how much they died.
There's like certain things, like in the last fight, you definitely want one group to know that what they're doing to do a certain
How many groups are in there, though?
You can have up to 48 people in there.
A lot of groups. So only 8 people need to know what they're doing?
That one, yes. On the first fight, you split into 2 groups, and you want to try to kill them around the same time. Second fight is just like a really normal fight. Just do mechanics, and you're good.
Yeah. I think a lot of people focus too much on making sure that they're continuing to do damage, and I think this is the kind of fights where it makes more sense to just not die. Like don't push for the DPS, don't push, like make sure you don't die and your group will do better, even if it because there is no enrage. It seems like they're really like you just have to kill it, so it's
there might be an enrage, I don't
but
know.
It's like really far, so like just I guess that's the tip. I haven't done it, but the tip I can give with this is kind of a savage when you're learning savage content is it's better to not DPS when you're learning mechanic. Like take a break from DPSing, understand the mechanic, don't die for those 2 to 5 seconds, and then continue DPSing afterwards. Like it's worth losing it for those 2 to 5 seconds, then you continuing to DPS and not know where to stand, and then dying. So it's kind of a give and take.
And Icarus says, I don't mind healing because I know they're going to die, so I don't worry about healing so much. They're going to die whether I do a great job or a terrible one.
Yeah, that's a different I take personal responsibility for it as a healer. I'm like, I need to.
I kind of get that though, because like just like halfway in, I'm like, yeah, I'm not worrying about healing you that much.
It's not that, but it's like now I can't do my DPS. You mother, like you take away the things that I enjoy doing with my healer. Like it's the weaving of the heals and everything with the DPS and kind of doing too much. And now I'm just I'm a res battery and I'm running out of mana and I can't DPS because I got to save my mana to res the next guy who's gonna die. And that is not fun to me.
I definitely was not worrying about my DPS at all.
No, you couldn't.
I was throwing out a couple, but yeah, I was more focused on getting half the group up after they all died. So
you were a res battery.
Focus on mechanics more than getting your DPS out, and you will do amazing. And look at that, the real hot chili pepper dropping another item in chat. See, this is the benefit. Every once in a while, Chili gets paid, and then he drops a whole bunch of
senior saboteur emote. That's a really cute
items in chat, and that's why you should join us live sometime.
I feel like that emote is cuter on the Lalafels than anything else. Like it's really fucking cute.
All the emotes cuter on a Lalafell?
Pretty much.
That's
but
like
they just
the
like
only reason to
the
play
way they
a
bend
Lalafell.
over like the little cactuar dance, like with their little booties. Like it's super cute. When I do it on my Viera, it's more like, okay, girl, you're trying too hard.
Like usually the glamour doesn't look that great on Lalafels, or it doesn't look as good, I should say. But the emotes are usually pretty good.
The emotes are always
Lalafels.
Yeah, they do. They're adorable.
You do get people running up trying to kick you, but that's just the life of a potato.
Yes, it is a Lalafell inside the cactuar suit, but that's a spoiler for the quest from last season. I don't know if it's a spoiler anymore. I don't think I can do it. But anyways, moving on. What were you saying, Pete?
Yeah, I'm super excited for you to get to rank 10 so you can do the Castrum. And like I mentioned previously, it doesn't really seem like your rank has much effect on like your stats or anything like that. So it's not like a rank 15 person's going to be that much better in the Castrum.
Right.
The only thing that would make them better is there's some lost actions you can have at rank 15 that you can't have at rank 10.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get rank 10, I don't think there should be anything holding you back from going into the Castrum.
But you have to be rank 10 to get in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't be scared about going in.
If Pete can heal it, anyone can do it.
And I went in at rank 10 on my first time as a tank.
But again, the fact that you healed it and they beat it, anyone can do it, guys.
Well, it also depends on how many people are in there. Like, I don't know if we would have done it with me healing if we only had 23 people in there, but we had 40 people in there.
Is it not common to get the thing filled up?
I think Chili said he was in there like the lowest amount of people he ever got to clear with was like 23.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be tight.
And they got into one the other day that was only like 21, and then after one attempt at the first boss, everyone just left.
Yeah, they're like, that's not gonna work.
Which sucks because I think you lose a lot of metal if you release. Start over. You'll do yourself a lot of favors if you actually take the time to learn what all the lost actions do. I'm a little too lazy for that. I know like what some important ones are. As a tank, I like to bring Lost Arise. So if the healers in my group die, I'm able to heal them, and that just like reinforced my want when I was a paladin for 5 years of always wishing there was raise on paladin.
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of satisfying raising as a tank. I don't know why.
Icarus says there is a report of another Japanese group that cleared it with 16. I wonder if they were like a group together though, because I feel like a group of 16 randoms versus a group of 16 people who often play together, that's a different kind of dynamic going into it.
Yeah, and Lost Arise raises the person at 100%, and they don't have weakness.
So it's like the best one.
Yeah.
Got it.
I could see it being done with 16 people if they all know what they're doing.
If they know what they're doing and they play together, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine they were all
like it's possible, but with a pug, that's a different sort of dynamic.
So if you see it being filled up, and there's like, if there's 40, definitely go on it, even if you're rank 10. If there's 30, if it's like 30 people in there, you might have to concentrate a little bit more. But I'd say anything between 30 and up is probably a good chance of you completing it.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah, and we got a live letter. Do you have any? You didn't really do much.
I have nothing to add to this. I'm just kind of trying to make a conversation with you.
We'll have the Avi review next week.
Like I said, I was day drinking.
She was on a little vacay.
Worth it.
Which I need soon. But we did get the live letter digest this week, which is the official translation that is posted in the official forums for the live letter by the community team. This is important because we have to rely on live translations right after the live letter, but because neither of us are smart enough to learn Japanese. But now we have the official translation.
I could learn it if I wanted to.
Yeah, sure.
I was a linguist, like in the Navy. Like that's what I could. I just choose not to. Got other priorities.
So we're just gonna go over stuff that we either like didn't catch from the translation, or maybe we just want to reiterate. First thing is, I don't think we caught last week that the name of the patch is going to be called Futures Rewritten.
Yeah, we did.
Did we? Okay, I don't remember a lot of what we talked about.
Okay.
Goes in one eye and out the other. Is that the term?
No, but that's okay.
We got confirmation that 5.4 will be coming in early December. They do say that patch 5.4 includes quite a large amount of content. Patch 5.41 may be implemented after New Year's. We don't get much of a preview into the MSQ, just that it will follow the Scions after their return from the first.
The new dungeon is Matoya's Relict, which we did see that, and Pete looked up what relict is, and it's a definition in a thing which has survived from an earlier period or in a primitive form. Interesting.
So does that give you any sort of insight in what that dungeon will be, Matoya's Relict?
I think it's going to be like kind of old school. Like I think it's the older Matoya. I don't think it's Y'shtola. And I think it's something that's survived for a very long time. Like the cavern with all her books and stuff in it. Kind of makes sense. So we'll be available with your trust, which is awesome. And they are in the middle of the QA process, which is why we got artwork instead of course, the game footage. Nothing that we didn't get about the new... What? Nothing
new that we didn't get about the next chapter in Sorrow of Wurlet. It's going to be the Emerald Weapon.
Right. You didn't say nothing. There was no new there. So I was like, what?
When I'm just doing notes like this.
That's fair. I just when I'm trying to read it, I was like, I don't understand. We are getting the final entry in the Eden series, which is titled Eden's Promise, and will require the completion of the 5.3 MSQ. The title of the patch, Futures Rewritten, also refers to Reen, Gaia, and the future of the first, so you may want to keep that in mind.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that is kind of cool.
I like that we still have a reason to go back to the first.
Right. I mean, I don't know that we will past the 5
Yeah,
point.
that's kind of what they always do. Whenever they have an expansion, we never go back to the old place. Which is kind of why I like that we're adding Heavensward in for the way to get those memories.
Oh, you mean Atmas? Yeah.
Yeah. The only problem is they made it too easy to get them from there.
I agree. I think 100% is too high. Even just like 75% would have been a little bit better. Just make it a little less every time.
It's like I said when I was doing yokai for this second time around when it's been nerfed.
Yeah.
I think it it flows great. I think we're getting drops at a perfect.
Yeah,
amount of
I don't know
time.
what the rate is for that, so I can't.
It feels like if you have half an hour to put into it, it feels like you make progress on it, which is kind of what I go by. It's like if someone doesn't have 3 hours to put into something, if they can put half an hour or an hour and feel like they actually did something,
right?
That's a appropriate drop rate in my opinion.
I agree with that. Yeah, that is not the old school MMO mentality of camp something for 6 hours.
Yeah, but I think we're beyond
No, I'm not
that.
saying it's a bad thing at all.
Definitely. I think I definitely remember doing that in Dark Age of Camelot just to level, not to even get anything good.
Right.
Having to camp for hours and hours and hours.
Yep. As for job adjustments, they confirmed Grease Lightning will no longer be something you need to maintain. It's going to be changed into a trait, and because of that, Grease Lightning related actions will have their effects and potencies adjusted.
And yeah, with that makes me not want to play Monk.
So then if you don't play Monk, what DPS seems attractive to you?
I don't know. I'm a little bit interested in Black Mage just because I haven't really done a caster job in this game.
Well, if you like one that's like super busy, which is kind of what you said about Monk, I'd recommend checking out Summoner. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, if I'm just going to play something that's super easy, maybe I should go to like Samurai.
I mean, if you want to stay melee, but I think it'd be interesting, Pete, to see you try to main a mage class because you haven't done that, and you, like you said before, you used to always do that in other MMOs. You were always a caster.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting to see your take on that.
Satyr says, my wild speculation, the reason Gaia doesn't recognize anyone in Yulemore, even though she's from there, is she's from the future.
A lot of people, I've heard that one actually. Yeah. Or she could be from the past.
I can't say I'm that invested in that questline.
Okay, you don't have to be. Blue mages are obviously, as we know, we're getting the level cap raised to 70, and their artifact gear will be added. So more spells, you got to catch them all. Resistance weapons won't come in 5.4. They're going to be part of the 5.x series, possibly 5.54. We will get something called Delubrum Reginae, which will be the new sort of content similar to the Baldessian Arsenal, but they've also prepared a normal mode for players to challenge more casually. So you'll encounter this content during the course of the Save the Queen Blades of Gunhildr story.
I don't know if they needed to do the separation of normal and what they called it savage, but that wasn't the problem with Baldessian Arsenal. I feel the problem was the grind getting to Baldessian Arsenal.
Well, I mean, they obviously like paid attention to the forums and the comments people had to say in regard to that.
Maybe
so
they should just pay attention to my observations as an outsider who never did it.
Right. So that's exactly. Moving on.
Icarus thinks I should play Red Mage.
Red Mage is fun.
Disco Cub says, regarding the monks changes, I will appreciate it because I get so angry when I lose my stacks because of a mechanic when we're frozen or in a cutscene. And yes, that can be kind of annoying. But even in the latest 24-man raid, I think with the changes they've made, I'm able to keep them up all the time. But yes, I agree. It's annoying when you can't keep them up. But then you perfect balance to get them back up really quick. How to get it back up, and you can challenge the clit.
You knew it was coming.
Giggity.
Yeah. All right.
You're the one that said. Well. Crafters will be getting adjustments to less frequently used actions. New crafting conditions will be added for expert recipes. Those new conditions won't appear for recipes added prior to patch 5.4. So you'll be able to do the current expert recipes just like you always have, but anything coming in 5.4, there's going to be new conditions that we have to deal with.
We did say that.
For gatherers, the collectible and ethereal reduction systems have been revamped. You'll no longer have to remember to turn on the collectible glove action, which is pretty nice. Item wear will be removed, putting a focus on gathering attempts and collectability rating. Gathering and perception ratings will have a greater effect on collectability, which I kind of like because it gives you a little more reward from taking the time to pentameld your gear. Adjustments will be made to items obtained from ethereal reduction based on their collectability. I'm interested to see what that does. If we're gonna get like a lot more items from a higher collectible item from Ethereal Reduction.
I don't. Okay, it's another thing. I don't know. I'm like,
because right now you can get to like, I forget how many bars there are, but it usually shows you like how many bars you are to like all the way, and it's like if you get like 6, you have the possibility of getting some of the items you want. If you're at 8, you might get like a higher percentage of some HQ ones, but you might get 8 from the level 6 one and 1 from the level 8 one. So I imagine they might be doing something where it rewards you more for getting a high collectability.
I've been doing collectibles and I still don't even, I'm like, whoosh.
You've been doing collectibles, but you haven't done the Ethereal Reduction, which is what I'm talking about right now.
Okay, that makes sense then. All right, moving on.
I didn't see anything new regarding Ishgardian Restoration in patch 5.4. It will be the last step, so it's your last chance to get those titles. No one notices.
Competition's gonna be fierce.
No one notices. Don't waste time. I've had it on since I've got it. No one said a damn thing.
Ocean fishing is going to be getting an update, but unless they add new rewards, don't really see any reason to go back in there.
Yeah,
unless you really like it.
Like, you don't want the shark because you hate sharks.
Fuck sharks.
She's like, yeah, make that shark fin soup. Get them out of the ocean.
No, I just don't want to see them.
And I'm like, well, I have all of the rewards, so why would I go back in there if there aren't any new rewards? Because honestly, it's not something that's fun. I don't know.
Some people enjoy it. I do say I think the baby shark minion is pretty freaking cute, but the mount I 150 bazillion% would never use.
Yeah, but just the system itself, like, it was kind of fun to begin with because it was something new when we were in there.
Yeah.
But it didn't really have any staying power, especially after you got all the rewards for it.
Right.
It was super good for leveling, so if you're still leveling your fisher, definitely
that's why I should go back in there, because I think my fisher is like 76 or something. But what was hard for me is, again, I'd mentioned it before, is that I hadn't done all of the ability quests, so I had to go back and do all those quests, because then there'd be like, I think mooching, or I don't even remember, but I had things I didn't have. And yes, shark tastes delicious, Icarus. I have had shark
honestly
before.
I haven't heard anyone talk about ocean fishing since like a month after it was released.
Yeah, it kind of died away.
Quick match option for Mahjong is being added, which will be nice, being able to complete a Mahjong match in a shorter amount of time. But I am interested if this will affect your rating at all, because there's definitely been matches that I've had in Mahjong where I'm losing 90% of the time, and then I just go on a crazy winning streak and I'm able to get first. But I wouldn't have got that if I was in a quick match, which I'm imagining is probably half the time. Because in my little bit of research, they have some Mahjong matches that do half the amount of rounds. So I would not like the quick matches to affect your rating.
Okay. I still haven't unlocked Mahjong. Sorry, Pete.
But I scheduled 20 minutes for us to talk about Mahjong.
I mean, have fun. I'm gonna go in the other room now.
But yeah, that is all the discussion I have for tonight then.
That was pretty good. I mean, I a lot of it was stuff I didn't have comments on, but I tried to be here for you.
So we can get to the community roundup, partner. And once again, just want to remind you, Stellazzio Virtual Theatre. They had a stream tonight. There's going to be more throughout the weekend, so definitely look up Stellazzio Virtual Theatre on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. They got a website, just Stellazzio Virtual Theatre. Just Google it. We'll have all the links in the show notes, but you can always just Google it. I know you guys are capable of that. And I also want to just give a shout out to garlandtools.org again, because they really are the website I go to whenever I need to like find out what new items were added to a patch and stuff like that. And I was definitely going there for all the new memories that were added to get the names for them. And so Garland Tools helps me out a lot. And there's a lot of good Final Fantasy 14 sites out there, like Gamer Escape as well. For some reason, the way Garland Tools is set up just clicks with the way my mind works. And I'm sure there might be one or two other people like me out there.
I'm sure there are. Maybe one.
We're awesome. A little bit of Twitter reaction this week. William Riley, the old school gamer, says, "At She Heals I Tank, I'm listening to episode 236, and you and your guest were talking about how 14 sucked until you took a break, and that's the human nature. As soon as something becomes a job, it's not fun."
And having it be like the podcast and stuff totally did that, but I also had the whole guilt factor where, because it was like a job in a sense, but I was also trying to support my husband with it, I like didn't feel allowed to take a break. So it was a real like, and I know that's something I did to myself.
I was like, that was a her thing, not me. I never said it sucked.
No, he's just fully talking to me. But yeah, no, it was hard. It was hard. It was really good when I finally like gave myself permission to take a step back.
And then probably my favorite thing I tweeted out this week was, I said, every Halloween season, at Avi AL watches The Craft. What are the Halloween movies you watch every year? And she's gonna fight me on this.
I had no
but
service.
She's lying.
I've seen The Craft twice.
Every year that I have known Avi, she has watched The Craft.
Not.
You have.
I've watched Hocus Pocus.
I can't understand why she's not admitting to it, because I like The Craft. I like The Craft more than Hocus Pocus. But every year she watches The Craft. And I just like casually mentioned it a while ago.
It's become a thing.
She's like, I don't watch that the other day. And
the other day, I don't watch it every year. I watched it last year.
You watch it every damn year. There'll be times when I come home and it's just you and your friends watching The Craft.
No, it's not. One, I don't have that many friends. Two, I told my best friend about this, and she goes, "We don't watch that movie."
You watch it every year.
No, I don't.
Your friend in New York that came over. Katrina, that's not the name, but it starts with a K.
Hocus Pocus is my favorite Halloween movie, hands down, 150%. I will watch Hocus Pocus every year.
I don't know why you're lying about
I watched
this.
Nightmare Before Christmas before I watched The Craft.
Honestly,
I can't name a single character in The Craft.
Oh, you're telling me you don't know Nancy Downs?
No.
Veruza Balk played her.
I don't know who that is either.
You're telling me you don't know
He's got a list
Bonnie,
of
who was played by Neve Campbell.
I know Neve Campbell was in Scream.
You don't know Chris Hooker, who was played by Skeet Ulrich.
I would watch The Heathers before I would watch The Craft. I'm sorry, like, that's not my movie. I don't know where you got this in your head.
You don't know Rochelle, who was played by Rachel True.
I don't know. Yes, Saders and Pete. Pete is the one watching The Craft.
You don't know Laura Lizzie, played by Christine Taylor, future wife of Ben Stiller? You don't remember Mitt? Breckenmeyer? Come on, Avi. Don't act like you don't know every damn name that I just read off to you.
Yeah, this is his new thing.
Don't forget about Sarah Bailey, Robin Turney. She was the main one. I don't know why you're lying about this, Avi. First of all. But we did get quite the reaction of people and their favorite Halloween movies. We have Cassandra 180. She's got good taste. I always watch Casper myself.
Oh, I should watch Casper again. That had Devon Sawa in it. Ooh, Idle Hands. I haven't watched that one in a while. That's a good Halloween movie.
Seth Green, Jessica Alba. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Devon Sawa. That was a good one. Idle Hands, where he's a stoner who's so lazy.
I don't know that name you said, but I remember
he's
Jessica
the kid who played Casper. He's the laziest stoner, and his hand gets possessed because he's so fucking lazy. And then he cuts off his hand, and then it's the guy from the new Addams Family movie who did the hand, and then it goes around killing people, and they have to find his hand. I like that one. I like camp. I like Army of Darkness. I like the campy. You
love The Craft. I've seen you watch it every year.
There's a Nathan Fillion one with the slugs, and they were like alien slugs that spit that like then turn people into zombies, and then they spit acid. Like, that one was really good. I can't think of the name of that one.
This is how
Slither. Thank you, Disco Cub. Slither. Like,
this is how in the past she's talked about The Craft. And I can't understand.
Cheese movies,
I can't understand.
Pete is making shit up.
She's not admitting
The Craft
to
isn't cheese. It's not cheese. I'd rather watch Buffy the Musical.
Well, who wouldn't?
That's amazing.
Yes. Brian Jensen says, Nightmare Before Christmas all the way. Coincidentally, Avi Ale, did you see they're remaking The Craft?
I think that's why Pete has this in his head.
Because you were like, setting a timer on your phone of when that trailer was releasing, and you're like, oh my god,
I did, huh? Okay.
This episode is going to be called Gaslighting.
Just the craft. Jeez. Oh, Corpse Bride was sweet too. Yeah. So I don't know. Pete also got a thing going where whenever I'd be watching something in the other room and he wasn't there, he'd be like, "What are you watching? Knight's Tale?"
Because she was always watching The Knight's Tale.
Never was watching Knight's Tale. Great movie, but yeah, the craft of gaslighting. Here you go. Oh.
Lunavox said Hocus Pocus and a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, hands down.
Disco Cobb said Hocus Pocus, The Craft, a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
So growing up, you know, you make like those family friends, like that the parents are the same age and the kids are the same age. So we had this one family, like that was our family. We'd watch football on Sundays together. Their dad was so into Elvira. He had like a cardboard cutout of her like in his office.
She was a sex symbol.
Her titties still look amazing, and it's kind of weird saying it.
I haven't seen him recently.
They look really good still. The craft of gaslighting is second for the title. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
But anyone that
wow, there was a lot of responses.
But anyone that doesn't watch or doesn't listen to the very end is gonna be like, "Why'd they name it that?"
It's fine.
Baroli says, "Nightmare Before Christmas and Rocky Horror Picture Show fan here. There was a stage performance for Rocky Horror every year here in Portland that I want to check out, but I'll have to wait until next year."
I feel like I missed out on Rocky Horror Picture Show because my mom would tell me about like the midnight showings they'd go to, and they'd like bring toast and throw it at the screen, and like it was just this whole interactive thing.
I've never been to a live
and I feel like I
either.
need to, but it has to be like the right place.
But you're like supposed to dress up.
Yes.
Would be fun, but yeah.
I did go to a live show. I went to a drag show of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it was amazing. It was so fun. But and it, like they did the whole movie basically as a drag show. It was wonderful.
Unfortunately, in the year 20 COVID, not gonna happen.
No.
N7 Clutch says Nightmare on Elm Street. There we go. Little Freddy action there for you. And Paul Metal says Hocus Pocus, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, It, and Saw.
I was with you on the first one there, Paul, and I get all the other ones totally remind me of you, but I love that Paul's like all these hardcore horror movies and Hocus Pocus because Pete did not admit that Hocus Pocus is a goddamn amazing movie, and that one they're actually doing a sequel to, which I'm really excited about. Are they
doing a sequel? I heard they were doing like a reunion thing.
Oh, I'm not sure. Well, I heard it was a sequel, but they like that was actually one of the top grossing movies like during COVID. So that's
because it was the only thing out there. They re-released it.
Addams Family. Yeah, nobody really said Addams Family.
I couldn't get Avi to watch Saw.
No, I mean, I've seen bits of Saw. That's terrifying. Even though it has Carrie Ulwes, I can't.
Yeah, it's basically Princess Bride.
Yeah, no.
And Wings of Wind 5 says, it's not necessarily a Halloween movie, but my birthday is the 24th, and every year I watch the Alien movies because they are my favorite.
That's totally fair and valid.
And if we're going to go off like a good movie, not like a good Halloween movie or something like that, Alien 1 is one of the best movies.
I've actually never seen it.
Wow.
And I know that's bad.
We're going to have to see if that's on Amazon Prime, and then maybe we can do a watch party for it.
There's this movie, I gotta remember. So it's not Halloween related, but it's like a holiday, but not. I can't remember the name of it, but it was it was Gina Davis, and it had Samuel L. Jackson.
League of Their Own.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Star Wars.
And Gina Davis.
I don't know this one.
But she was like a hitman or something, and he would always sing things to remember it, and it was really funny, and it was Mother's Day weekend. I remember my dad and I went to the movie. We went to the movie place, we rented movies, and that one had like sounded like it was.
You went to the movie place and rented movies?
Whatever.
Blockbuster?
No, it was Valley Video. It was the little. It was my first job. It was a little mom and pop video rental store. I can't remember it was like A Night Before Last or something. Goodness. But the whole thing was the title sounded like it was a chick flick. And when you brought home those...
Long Kiss Goodnight?
Yes. Thank you, Disco Cup. So it was Long Kiss Goodnight, yes. And so we bring home Long Kiss Goodnight, and my mom, and it's Mother's Day, she's like, Long Kiss Goodnight? Oh my God, you guys brought home like a movie for me? And she was so excited. And then it's Samuel L. Jackson, no, got my gun in the right pocket. Like, it's just like killing people. And but it ended up being like one of our family movies after that because it was so funny. So yeah, like you watch Alien on Halloween, we watch Long Kiss Goodnight on Mother's Day. Like I feel you on that. Thank you, Disco Cub. Like somebody got it. Yes. Great. It was a fun movie. Really fun movie.
Good catch on that. I did not know that, Disco Cub.
I was like, it was something that like really sounded like a chick flick. So I just remembered. So yeah. So anyways, Pete, do you have anything else you wanted to add before
That is all the response. Maybe I just need to tweet about movies more often. That's the most responses that we got in a while.
It's Halloween movies. So on that note, that's going to be it for this episode. And as always, we've enjoyed hanging out with all of you live here on Twitch, letting us know when we're wrong and when we're right. Pete was right this time. I said it.
Right a lot.
Thank you for spending your time with us. If you are new, be sure to hit that follow button so you know the next time we will be going live. And of course, a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and now on YouTube. You really are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little podcast a rating or a review. And of course, more important, tell a friend to check us out. And don't forget to vote. Vote, you guys. Vote this week. Time to vote. Go vote. Here with Vegan Pete, I'm Avi Ale. We will talk to you next week.
Vote sooner than later, else you're going to have a long-ass line.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.